It's 4:44 in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time. Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. We were John C. Roseman, California. I got to address this over to the readout, MSNBC's readout, to one of their people that they had just interviewed who was on the January 6th commission. And that particular person was trying to make a difference between Donald Trump's case and O.J. Simpson's. O.J. Simpson didn't do any federal charges, except maybe for murder. But it was handled in the state courts, if I'm not mistaken, not the federal courts, and that's a different thing altogether. Okay, so hang on. We're going to see this one here. O.J. Simpson murder trial. Simpson was done in the Los Angeles County Superior Court within the state of California. Regarding the actions happened within the state of California, there were no federal charges at that time back in 1994. And back in 1994, well, actually, it started back in 1995, actually. But it was still the Superior Court of California, which is the state, which is not federal. Federal and state are two different things. Federal, they're going to have to decide somewhere else in the upper chain of command whether or not they're going to have cameras in the courtrooms, and that's going to be their precedent on this one here. But the state of California, yeah, we had to have it because we're dealing with O.J. Simpson, an international star, being convicted, even though the trial ended with him being proven innocent. But still, we had it out there because the state of California allowed, at the time, and probably still does these days, if we have another situation like that happening, a major situation happening like that, where we have an international star doing something that's stupid. We have Donald Trump in the federal. We don't have anybody in the state doing this stuff. It was O.J. Simpson back in 90s, 95, having a court hearing allowed by the state of California to be held in public. Much like we had the Rodney King inc- Rodney King beating with the four LAPD officers being also tried in Superior Court. Granted, that was also acquitted. They were all acquitted, but they caused LA more than that. And there were federal charges being labeled on those guys. But the initial was state. And state had allowed at the time, and don't know if they're still doing it or not right now as it is, of having the courts being done in public if it merits it. And because the video was sent and seen by everybody across the country and across the world, it had to be public. So maybe the logic does happen for the federal, but it's going to be up to the federal judges, including the Chief Justice, to decide whether or not we actually want this on trial or not. As much as I'd like to have it buried in the court line and just headlines and that's about it, we need to see this in action. We're going to give this guy a major ass platform. He gets his own platforms left and right, but the major news medias don't cover it as much except in clips. And all he's getting right now is social media at this point. I'm not making this guy as larger than life, and then we want to see this guy humiliated. We want to see this guy go through the process. We want to see this guy who wanted everything else in public. He's going to do it grandiose. Let's do it grandiose. Let's put it on record. Donald Trump on record in the court. It's one thing that the state of New York would not allow that to happen because we're dealing with a civil court. And he lost. But we got state courts coming up who want to try his ass. It'll be up to each courthouse, each system over there to decide whether or not they want to put this guy on visual trial. We're going to see if he gets vindicated or not. And if he does get vindicated, I know it's going to be the major, massive thing he needs to build up his credibility. But we still need to have full reporters to report the whole damn thing and let people know about it. We need to know. The public, unfortunately, has the right to know what the hell's going on with this guy, so we have to put this guy on record. We have to.